Now then, boys and girls, you join us on Monday morning for the morning coffee. And today's video is all going to be about playing with a new toy that I've got, really, and I found its first use. So what we're going to be doing is, drafting up on CAD, designing and basically manufacturing our own part for the heater system, because obviously you might have seen in the last video, we've got a small little compact heater to go in that has basically 50 odd mil outlets to use hose to then connect to all events. So we're going to have to make our own windscreen facing dashboard like heater vents, and I'm going to utilise the front face and like the passenger and driver side front face and side vents. So we're going to basically model the outlets of everything on CAD, print some test pieces out of PLA, and then we're going to go and test fit them to see if they work. But we'll jump straight into it anyway. I just thought I'd make a quick video explaining what we're actually doing instead of just hopping into things and expecting people to know what I'm doing, because I am shit at making intros. No further ado, let's jump right into it. This is so fucking cool. Just like that, we have a heater vent. POV spec. So this metal bracket is going to sit, I think I might put it in there. I think that's where they're going to sit. Obviously once they're blacked out and tied in, you're not even going to see them in the driver's seat. You literally will not even see them. The lofts will fit in there, no problem. Don't think I need to make any adjustments to that. I'll probably just keep that as is. And yeah, I think that's where they're going to sit. I think that's going to have to be the way they're going to go in. It's not ideal, it's not what I wanted, but it's still going to allow us to get a little bit of hot air onto the windscreen. The only other thing I could do, it's just the fucking curvature of the dash. It's just not gonna play ball, I don't think. So I've just marked them out quickly. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Somewhere around there and somewhere around there. So yeah, I think that's what we're just gonna have to deal with. Obviously with the limited clearance, I'm surprised these even fit, but they do. So we'll keep the designs as simple as possible. There's no point overcomplicating things. That's us in here for today. We'll try and get the shed cleaned out today and come in and weld that bracket for the heater in. Yeah, getting there, boys, getting there. So then, modelling task number 1 is complete. Windscreen facing stuff is done. So these are the standard front facing like passenger and driver vents, which I'm going to try and utilise because I don't want any big ugly holes in my dashboard. And I've got 2 more heater outlets off the heater that I can't get on the windscreen because of the limited room. So I'm going to use these. I'm going to try and make a model. I think if we just make a plain tolerance fit around that outer diameter of that rectangle and then modify these to fit around all these features on both of the vents, I think we should be able to get them on there far enough so that we can glue them and put a bit of silicone on or something just to stop any air escaping anywhere else. Well, first we'll take some measurements of the back of there make it as tight as a fit as I see it, you know, as I think I'll probably be able to get on it, and chuck it into CAD and see what we can come up with. So then, these are what we've come up with so far. I need to try and put you down here. How am I going to do this?
Is that going to work? It's going to handle, I think.
Right, so V1, to make sure that the outer diameter was actually going to be the correct sort of tolerance fit that I was looking for. Just pushes on. It's got a nice hold. It's not too tight. It's not too loose. It's not coming off there. So basically, it was a good starting point. It works. It's on there. And obviously, it is probably only on there at the highest point. Maybe, I would say, about 15 mil, and it's barely grabbing this back edge here. You can see when I take it off there, it's barely holding on there. So I took some measurements of this here with the micrometer, just some vernier calipers and whatnot, and came up with this little notch inside of there. And if you can see that there, my measurements were wrong. All of these geometries in here aren't really, well, yeah, it was a bad miscalculation. So V3, and I've just broke my vent. Good going. I hope now we're sorted. So that there has allowed us at the shallowest point to be down onto the moulding another 10 mil or so. So I was happy with that fit. So with that being said, I think we'll run out the garage, stick this in there, and see if it's going to fit under there with the cage, because the cage runs down past, obviously, through the A-pillar, right behind where these vents are going to be. So we kind of need to go out there and double check and make sure that these are going to fit, because I'm happy with that design there. So yeah, we'll run out the shed and we'll see if these are going to be any good. The garage. Oh my god, this is hard to see.
Yeah, I think we can maybe get away with that. I reckon maybe if we angle that outlet, I think it'll be fine as is, to be honest, but we can maybe offset that face just to angle out this way. Maybe it's about 30 degrees from the whatever axis that is, and it should be fine. It should be fine like that, but maybe if it was just facing this way it'd be a touch better. So I think I'm just gonna get a marker pen and roughly draw on the top of that sphere, like cylinder, what angle I'm gonna have to change that to, because it's quite close to that tube there, and I don't want anything chafing. Be fine because it's gonna be proper tube and I'm gonna use, but I'll just get a marker pen quickly. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm never going to be able to drive this car because I'll be fucking disabled by the time I'm finished building it. You know what it is, I'm tempted to keep it the way it is, but for the sake of ease of installation, I might angle that down a touch as well. So from there, come down. We'll go there. Yeah, happy with that. Right then, boys, back to the fucking drawing board again. Oh, fucking hell.
So, you join back up with present Callum. We're all up to date with what has happened up until now. We left off in the garage with this design here. I was more than happy with it, but being the perfectionist that I am, needed a few little small changes. Now, for a man who's been using CAD software, proper CAD software, for about 2 weeks now, you can probably imagine how long it took me to create an angled offset plane over 2 dimensions. Yeah, after a while, due to my own stubbornness, I gave in, done a little bit of research, and after about 3 hours, from this model to this model, we now have another functional prototype. This, from start to finish, from the plain model that you seen earlier, probably took us about 2 hours to get to this stage. From this to this, more like 3 hours, because of my own stubbornness, mind, but yeah, wasn't as easy to create. Yeah, you get me gist. We're going to have some din-dins, have another cuppa, and we're going to go and test fit this to make sure I'm happy with it. If I'm happy with it, then we're going to put the computer away for the day, and we're going to take the dashboard out of the car, bring it into the shed, and weld the small heater bracket that I had laser cut into the center console thing. So yeah, crazy, isn't it? Crazy that you can sit at home and literally create anything, essentially, with the same initiative that it took to create that part there. You know, you can literally create anything. It's just mental that it blows me mind that technology like this is now accessible and relatively cheap. Yeah, just blows me mind.
Much better. Much better. Just a little bit of offset that we need. We're gonna have to get a dehumidifier in here because everything is starting to rust. Oh, man. We got some hardware, couldn't get any flange nuts, so just plain nuts it is, and we're gonna be doing a bit of jiggery pokery with some washers, I think, to make it work. What's my flipping focus doing? There we go. But yeah, we've got washers stacked in between to clear the screw heads, and we've got basically an arrangement of washers so that I can weld the nuts to the back of this. So yeah, we're gonna quickly tack this up, and then we'll get the grinder out, clean it all up, and then do like the final passes on it. Good evening, everyone. We're back in the garage again. So, I don't know what happened the last time I caught up with you, but we basically got really ugly setup on here, I know, but it's gonna do. Washers stacked on top of washers, welded, nuts, welded. Some more washers for spaces because we need spaces. And we're basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this mount in here. So the theoretical issue that I'd had originally while thinking about mounting this, because I was just going to bang it in here somewhere, I could have put it up here, but that would have meant that this, you know, the actual heater would have been the highest point in the cooling system, and I thought I don't really want to create an issue with trying to bleed the coolant. So down here
it won't be obviously the lowest point in the cooling system, but if I have it placed, say here, the lines that come out either side, we're going to have the fuse box here and another like motherboard sort of conjunction box in here, and the hoses are going to be all kinked and minging. But if I just bring it out a touch, I know it's going to be a massive bulky unit because of that, and it's not what I wanted to do. But the sake of ease, instead of trying to put this on a wonk or make another dedicated bracket for it, if I just cut some bits of steel, bring this out about 3 inches or so, I think that's the measurement that I've decided on. The heater will then sit on that face, and the hoses that will have plenty of room to route hoses. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut some bits of steel out of this box section that I had lay around. It is very heavy walled stuff, so I'm going to have to do a lot of chopping and cutting and grinding to make these somewhat applicable, because it's way too heavy for what I'd like. I've also cut every unused face and give this a little tickle up with a grinder before I paint it. I am going to have to give this a little bit of a scene too with a Scotch-Brite before I paint it, because there's some really hard to reach areas that I couldn't get with a grinder. But we're making progress on this. The sooner this goes in the car, the better, because I'm sick of it. A lot of work for, you know, all this stuff, the custom stuff, takes forever. You don't realise how long it takes until you start away doing it. Like an hour here, hour there. It takes weeks. So, yeah, we'll get some steel cut and bang this on here, I think. Starting to take shape. I know this looks like a big chunk of metal and it doesn't really look like anything. It's hard to visualize like how much work and time goes into this shit. Like, but I've basically cut some bits of angle. It's not how I wanted it, but it's gonna work fine, and I'm not arsed, right? I could fuck on for days and days and days and make an absolutely perfect aluminium version that weighs fuck all, which I will do in the future. But to get things to work, this is how things are made. Like 2 bits of box cut clean in half, 3 inches in total. The plate isn't welded to that yet. I've just sat the plate on there to make sure that I'm happy with it. And if you have a little looky here, you will see that the hoses are going to have plenty room in the back of there to do their thing. So I am absolutely over the moon with that. Just hoping the welds are going to be, there's going to be enough meat on there to support the weight of the heater box, obviously, because it's going to fill with water as well. But we'll see about that. If it falls off, it falls off. For now, get this all welded up. There's going to be a fair bit of time welding that up there. I am still learning to TIG. I've burnt myself multiple times today. I accidentally arced the tungsten up. The welder thought that it was a stick welder and I blinded myself. So I'm not going to sleep well tonight. But we're getting places, So anyway, we'll tack this up and I think we'll call it a night and go for some dinner. All mounted up. Solid, mate. Let's get it painted. So we're back in the garage. Test fit. Everything's spot on. We are cutting some holes in for the tops. Side vents installed. Fucking absolutely perfect. Look at that. Bit of silicone on them. Not the bother. Cup holders functional. Fucking, we're just on top of the game right now. Like, all we need is an engine, some wiring, a gearbox, and a place to mount this new flashy ECU that I've just bought. But that'll be another video. So we'll crack on cutting some heels, and we'll see you shortly. This has turned out so much better than I originally thought it was going to. So, vents up top, vents down bottom, and the side vents. Everything's looking fucking spot on. So, just got some temporary hardware in here for now. Luckily they do fit bang on, but I know what I need now anyway. But I'm going to get some new hardware for that before it's all finally installed. But cracking. Right then, final fit before flocking. Let's see how this is going to go. All the vents are in now. The side ones are siliconed onto the bodies. The dashboard ones are just held onto the dash with some temporary screws that I've got. I think I've figured out a way of getting it all in without having to potentially damage anything. I might just end up scuffing the cage up a little bit when it all eventually gets installed. So then, we're in. We're in. Right. That just goes there. Straight onto the mounts. Awesome. These front ones are a bit of a pig. Well, yeah, oh, that one's on there, yeah. Where's this one at? Oh, wow, she's a bit of a country mile away, that one. Oh, this is a fucking mile away. Give her a little bendy. Poppy. And that's the dashboard in. Vents in. Oh. We are very, very close to we're past it. Shit. we are very, very close to the outlets on there. Pace. I think there's enough giving them to just bend them a touch and get some hoses on there. I'm happy with that. I'm over the moon with that, actually. Gonna have to be a little bit of silicone on this one to fill the gap. I'll make a tidy job of it. Awesome. Well, yeah, I've been out here since, I don't know, I've been out here probably since about 10 o'clock this morning. It's now probably nearly about 5 o'clock. Second day on the trot. I'm gonna go whack some screws in this quickly, get a final little fit up video of how this is all looking in here, and yeah, I'm gonna get some measurements to make an ECU mount. Don't know whether I'm going to 3D print it yet, or whether I'm going to make it out of some alley. Try some TIG welding on some aluminium, because I still haven't actually done it yet. I've never ever welded aluminium, which would be cool. But well, I've got plenty of the ASA filament that I used for the dash vents left over from the dash vent project part of it, so I could use that as it is. You know, it's as strong as ABS. Obviously, it's chemical resistant. You know, it's a perfect material to use for car parts realistically, and it would be a shame to see it all go to waste. So we'll see anyway. But that is going to be it for the old dash vent video. Obviously, we've got it the heater welded in, all done and dusted. Now all we need is the piping, which is pretty self-explanatory. Jubilee clips, pipes on either side, but right now I'm not too worried about that, because we've got to route wiring and figure a few other things out first before we figure out where we're going to route the hoses. Plenty of room for that. I'm not worrying about it. So yeah, heater parts installed. Cool stuff. I know these videos are quite long, but I'm still learning to edit, and I'm still learning how to make videos essentially. If you've made it this far and you like the videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, drop a comment, let us know whether it was good, whether it was bad. Just, you know, communicate with us, let us know what you'd like to see. Obviously, we've got the whole car build, the entire car to do still, really. We've finished the front suspension, and we are currently on buying everything for the rear suspension to get it rolling, so we can get it outside and finish all the welding inside for the gear shifter turret, stuff in the back for fueling. We need to get it outside to weld, because I can't weld in here, unfortunately. I know it's I know it's incredibly stupid. I know a lot of people are probably turning in the graves here and that, but that is the crack. That's the situation we've got to deal with. So, on that note, after many weeks of making this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm super happy with that, like, over the moon, over the moon. Awesome.